Ignaz Semmelweis was born on July 1, 1818 in Buda, a part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, now a district of Budapest. His early life was steeped in the traditions of his Hungarian family, a family that valued education and intellectual pursuit. His father, József Semmelweis, was a respected merchant, providing Ignaz and his siblings with a comfortable upbringing and fostering an environment that encouraged academic excellence. His mother, Franziska, played a crucial role in shaping his character, instilling in him a strong work ethic and a deep sense of compassion. The young Ignaz demonstrated an early aptitude for learning, excelling in his studies, and showing a particular interest in the sciences. This fascination, coupled with his inherent empathy, would ultimately lead him down a path that would forever change the course of medicine, albeit at a significant personal cost. His childhood, though seemingly idyllic, was also shaped by the socio-political landscape of 19th-century Hungary, a period marked by significant social and political upheaval. The experiences of his youth, both personal and societal, undoubtedly played a role in shaping his worldview and his unwavering commitment to his medical ideals. His academic journey began in Pest, where he received a strong foundation in classical education. He later pursued higher education, enrolling at the University of Vienna in 1837 to study medicine. Vienna, at the time, was a vibrant hub of medical research and innovation, yet also a place where outdated practices and unsanitary conditions were rampant. This juxtaposition of cutting-edge research and archaic methods would profoundly impact Semmelweis's medical career and his relentless pursuit of understanding the causes of puerperal fever. The university's rigorous curriculum challenged him intellectually, pushing him to the limits of his capabilities and fostering his critical thinking skills. He excelled in his studies, demonstrating a keen intellect and a deep understanding of anatomical principles. During his years at the university, he also made valuable connections with prominent professors and fellow students, some of whom would later become influential figures in the medical community. These relationships, both professional and personal, shaped his perspective and offered support throughout his career. After completing his medical studies in Vienna, Semmelweis embarked on his professional career. In 1844, he secured a position at the Vienna General Hospital, specifically within the first obstetrical clinic. This seemingly prestigious appointment would become the crucible in which his life's work and his tragedy would unfold. The first obstetrical clinic at the time had a shockingly high mortality rate among mothers who had given birth, a rate far exceeding that of the second obstetrical clinic. This stark discrepancy, initially unexplained, captivated Semmelweis's attention and sparked his intense investigation into the causes of puerperal fever, commonly known as childbed fever. The hospital itself was a place of stark contrasts, a center of medical learning juxtaposed with horrifying conditions of overcrowding, poor hygiene, and inadequate sanitation. These conditions, while commonplace in hospitals of the time, provided a fertile ground for the spread of disease, a fact that Semmelweis would eventually come to understand with chilling clarity. The stark difference in mortality rates between the two obstetrical clinics fueled Semmelweis's relentless investigation. He meticulously observed the practices of both clinics, noting the subtle yet significant differences in their approaches. He observed the procedures, the handling of patients, the level of hygiene maintained by the staff, and the overall environment. He noticed that the first clinic, where the mortality rate was significantly higher, was staffed primarily by medical students who, directly after performing autopsies, would proceed to examine pregnant women without washing their hands. This observation, though seemingly simple, would become the cornerstone of his revolutionary findings. He also noticed the different approaches to patient care, the level of attention given to hygiene, and the overall atmosphere within each clinic. These seemingly minor variations, he reasoned, could hold the key to explaining the dramatic disparity in maternal mortality rates. His dedication to meticulous observation and his unwavering pursuit of answers were characteristic of his approach to medical investigation. His initial hypotheses were met with skepticism, even ridicule from his colleagues. The prevailing medical theories of the time attributed puerperal fever to various factors, including miasmas, imbalances in the body's humors, or even divine retribution. Semmelweis' suggestion that simple hand-washing could significantly reduce mortality rates was met with resistance, not only from his colleagues, but also from the established medical hierarchy. The idea that something as mundane as hand-washing could have such a profound impact on mortality seemed absurd to many, especially given the prevailing medical understanding of the time. He faced significant opposition from those who were deeply entrenched in traditional medical practices and resistant to new ideas, especially those that challenged their established authority. Undeterred by the resistance he faced, Semmelweis continued his research, meticulously documenting his findings and refining his methods. He implemented a strict hand-washing protocol in the first obstetrical clinic, requiring all medical personnel to wash their hands with a chlorinated lime solution before examining patients. The results were immediate and dramatic. The mortality rate in the first clinic plummeted, mirroring the significantly lower rate of the second clinic. This unequivocal success, however, failed to convince many of his colleagues, who dismissed his findings as mere coincidence or attributed the success to other factors. The entrenched belief in the existing medical theories, coupled with the resistance to change within the medical establishment, created a formidable barrier to the acceptance of Semmelweis' revolutionary discovery. The rejection of his findings was not just a professional setback, it was a deeply personal and emotional blow. Semmelweis, driven by his unwavering belief in the importance of his discovery, grew increasingly frustrated and isolated. His passionate advocacy for hand-washing, often bordering on the obsessive, alienated many of his colleagues, further hindering the acceptance of his life-saving innovation. His frustration stemmed from a deep sense of responsibility and a profound understanding of the preventable suffering and death he witnessed daily. The lack of recognition for his work and the continued suffering of countless women due to preventable deaths fueled his growing despair and contributed to his eventual mental and emotional breakdown. The social and political context of the time further complicated Semmelweis' struggle. The medical establishment, resistant to change and deeply entrenched in its traditional practices, was slow to adopt his findings. The lack of a clear understanding of germ theory, which was still in its infancy, further hampered the acceptance of his discovery. His inability to provide a complete scientific explanation for his findings, based on the limited understanding of microbiology at the time, left him vulnerable to criticism and skepticism. He lacked the scientific tools and the established framework to fully explain the mechanism by which hand-washing prevented puerperal fever, leading to further doubt and dismissal of his work. The years that followed were marked by increasing professional isolation and personal distress for Semmelweis. He faced ostracism, ridicule, and professional setbacks. His pleas for the adoption of his hand-washing protocol were largely ignored, and his attempts to publish his findings met with resistance from the medical community. He faced fierce opposition from influential figures who were deeply invested in the prevailing medical paradigms, and his repeated attempts to convince them of his findings were met with skepticism and dismissal. This rejection was not merely a professional disappointment. It was a devastating blow to his self-esteem and his belief in the power of scientific evidence. His mental state deteriorated, leading to periods of emotional turmoil and instability. His relentless pursuit of recognition for his life-saving discovery, coupled with the constant rejection and criticism, took a toll on his mental well-being. He became increasingly isolated and withdrawn, struggling to cope with the lack of recognition for his groundbreaking work. The weight of his unheeded warnings and the knowledge of the avoidable suffering and death he witnessed weighed heavily on his psyche. In 1865, After years of tireless effort and relentless frustration, Ignaz Semmelweis was admitted to an asylum in Vienna. His descent into mental illness was a direct result of the relentless rejection he faced from the medical community and the crushing weight of his unacknowledged contribution to the field of medicine. The years of relentless struggle, the constant battle against established medical dogma, and the profound disappointment of seeing his life-saving discovery ignored led to his tragic end. The mental and emotional toll of his experiences was immense, culminating in his hospitalization and eventual death. His death in the asylum in 1865, at the relatively young age of 47, stands as a tragic testament to the resistance to change and the human cost of scientific progress. The irony of his story is profound. He discovered a simple, yet incredibly effective method for saving lives, yet he perished due to the stubborn refusal of the medical establishment to accept his groundbreaking findings. His life story serves as a cautionary tale, illustrating the potential consequences of intellectual arrogance, resistance to evidence-based practices, and the devastating effects of failing to recognize and appreciate the contributions of visionary individuals. Only after his death did the medical community begin to fully appreciate the significance of Semmelweis's work. The development of germ theory, which provided a scientific explanation for his findings, finally validated his life-saving discovery. His methods, once ridiculed and dismissed, became standard practice in hospitals worldwide, significantly reducing maternal mortality rates. The belated recognition of his contributions, however, did little to alleviate the tragedy of his life, a life cut short by the very system he sought to improve. His story serves as a stark reminder of the importance of open-mindedness, critical thinking, and the ethical responsibility of the scientific community to embrace and validate groundbreaking discoveries, even when they challenge established norms. His legacy transcends the specifics of his discovery. It is a testament to the enduring power of perseverance in the face of adversity, the importance of questioning established dogma, and the tragic human cost of intellectual inertia. The story of Ignaz Semmelweis is not simply a historical account of a misunderstood genius. It is a cautionary tale with contemporary relevance. His struggle against the resistance to scientific innovation continues to resonate in modern medicine and other fields of scientific endeavor. His experience highlights the importance of critical thinking, rigorous methodology, and the need to challenge established paradigms when evidence suggests alternative perspectives. The tragedy of his life serves as a powerful reminder of the potential consequences of ignoring evidence-based practices, the dangers of intellectual arrogance, and the ethical responsibility of scientists and medical professionals to embrace and validate groundbreaking discoveries, regardless of how challenging they may be to established norms. The legacy of Ignaz Semmelweis extends far beyond the immediate impact of his discovery. His unwavering commitment to his findings, despite the overwhelming resistance he faced, serves as an inspiration to scientists and medical professionals worldwide. His story underscores the importance of perseverance in the face of adversity, the need for rigorous methodology, and the critical role of evidence-based practices in driving medical progress. His tragic life serves as a potent reminder that the pursuit of scientific truth can come at a significant personal cost, and that the recognition of groundbreaking discoveries may not always come during the lifetime of the discoverer. His story is a powerful reminder of the importance of recognizing and appreciating the contributions of visionary individuals, even when their ideas challenge established norms or are met with resistance. It is a call to action, urging us to embrace critical thinking, challenge established paradigms, and prioritize evidence-based practices in all aspects of scientific inquiry and medical practice. The life and legacy of Ignaz Semmelweis remain a potent symbol of the human cost of scientific progress and the enduring importance of recognizing and celebrating the contributions of those who dare to challenge the status quo. The enduring tragedy of his life serves as a constant reminder of the human cost of intellectual resistance and the critical importance of open-mindedness in the pursuit of scientific knowledge. His story continues to inspire, challenge, and serve as a powerful testament to the unwavering pursuit of truth, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. It is a story that deserves to be told and retold, ensuring that the lessons learned from his life are never forgotten.